Expedition 33 is absolutely killing it right now in sales. It is lighting up Steam charts, and this really, before it's released, was a little known IP. I mean, certainly a fringe group of people knew it was coming out. They were looking forward to it, but even the developers right now are completely surprised to the amount of success they're seeing so early. But it's doing more than just lighting up Steam charts. I mean, right now, what it is doing, along with the Oblivion remaster, is it's proving once again that Game Pass does not kill games. And you can look at Steam and the Steam charts, and you can absolutely, without a doubt, measure a game's success. We are here to debunk the fact that subscription services kill sales on Steam of good games. Stick around to see how this works, because Steam charts are an absolutely reliable way to measure a game's success regardless of the game. Let's get to it.
JayViper is awesome. He's so good looking. He's got the crowd in awe.
SteamDB and Steam charts are often used to measure a game's success, and we hear it so many times how these are supposedly unreliable, and we can't reference them if a game is on a subscription service. We heard this recently with games like South of Midnight and Avowed on Game Pass, and also with Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is on Ubisoft Plus Premium. The defenders of these games that struggle to find a larger audience will always point to the fact that these games are on a subscription service, and they always say how that has massive bearing on the game's success on Steam. I reject that completely, and I'm going to prove why we can look at these Steam numbers right now. As we've seen in the past with several games, and we will get into those. If a game is good, if people want it, they will buy it. Expedition 33 is actually the perfect example of this. Sandfall Interactive is a small studio of 33 people who made their first title, which was mostly an unknown game. It's right there on Game Pass for people to jump into instead of buying it. Right there for them to sign up for the subscription service, pay a few dollars instead of full price. An unknown game, an unknown studio, and 1 million copies sold in just a few days. The game has spoken for itself. People heard the hype, they saw the gameplay, and what did they do? They didn't go rent it on Game Pass. They purchased it, and they played it on Steam. This is why Steam numbers are the de facto reference in sales. Even if games are on consoles as well, you can still reference Steam numbers to gauge a game's interest. Is that title resonating with fans or not? You can see it in peak players, wish lists, and even discussion activity on their message boards. Steam has a lot of information, and the fact that they keep the API and the information open for us to look at, of course we can reference it. There's a reason why Ubisoft was asking them to take this information down, because they did not want people to see the numbers, because the numbers speak for themselves, and it doesn't allow companies to hide behind that sneaky players word they love to use. So when companies start pushing players, I'm going to consistently push back on that. I'm going to look at peak players on Steam, and I will work on projecting sales, which I have proven time and time again that I understand how to do. When defenders show up and they try to give you the excuse that this is on a subscription service, just slap them down and ask them the simple question of why someone renting a game through a subscription service somehow translates to a successful game. The fact is, it doesn't. It's also worth noting that the Oblivion remaster and Expedition 33 released only 2 days apart, and both are successful. I'd say the one big surprise was the fact that Oblivion being shadow dropped right in front of Clair Obscur didn't derail their success at all, which was voices of fear by people who were looking forward to that game. And these two games are not the exception to the rule either. You can look back at day one Game Pass games that saw immense success on Steam, regardless of the subscription service existing. I'm going to go over a few right now that have performed incredibly well, and I'm sure you can point out to even more in the comments below. Does anyone here remember Starfield? Day one on Game Pass, lots of hype, but also a lot of apprehension. And though the game disappointed many, that didn't change the fact that people wanted it and purchased it. 330,000 people at peak and an estimate of around 4 million sales on Steam alone. Meanwhile, it's a Bethesda game and still available to rent on Game Pass to this day. Now, admittedly, Starfield, that's an easy one. Let's try something else. Stalker 2, a title people were clamoring for, and they passed up the opportunity to rent it, and it saw 121,000 people at peak, and it's moved about 2.5 million units on Steam. And guess what else is going to be day one Game Pass, and it's coming soon? This answer will slay you. Doom the Dark Ages. Any bets this is going to be a massive success on Steam, or do you think this is going to fail miserably and everyone's going to go over to Game Pass to rent it? No, this is going to be another huge success on Steam, and it's going to be another reason why we can look at these numbers to gauge a game's success. Meanwhile, this is Avowed. Does it look like people wanted this game? 19,000 people at peak from Obsidian Entertainment. No, people did not want it. They rented it and they walked away. With this failure, people keep referencing Mind Game, who tried to push 5.9 million players in the first month. Oh, did they play? Just taking a quick peek at the achievements on Xbox, and you can see the most common achievement doesn't even have 59% completion rate. And you do this at the beginning of the game. The next highest achievement is 29%. This is an example of a failure to make people care, and those numbers showed up on SteamDB. No one wanted it, no one played it, no one bought it, and the people who were tricked enough to go and become those numbers on Game Pass, guess what they did? They stopped playing right away. My brothers and sisters in Christ, How World was day one Game Pass. 2.1 million peak players later and 15 million in sales as of February 2024. And all I can do is point at these numbers and insist you understand why they're so reliable. Warhammer Dark Tide is yet another example of a game people wanted it and purchased, and it hit over 100,000 peak players on Steam. Please don't make me pull up Redfall and South of Midnight numbers. We can tell when a game fails to gain traction, and I'm tired of the "yeah, but Game Pass" tropes. And I'm not saying that subscription services don't affect sales at all, because that would be silly. However, they do not derail the sales of games people want. If people aren't playing the game on Steam and it's available on Steam, it's because people do not want the game. They might think it's worth bidding on a rental like they did with Outlaws, which was clearly a massive failure. No one wanted that game. They went and rented it and they jumped out of there. A rental is simply not a purchase and does not measure success. And I've said it before and I will say it again. If people want the game, they will buy the game. And if you agree, do me a huge favor and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so I can see you on the next one. I'm out of here. Live your minute. Peace. Bye, everybody.